Welcome to my little corner of YouTube. Today I'm going to go over some rear stabilization methods for bench shooting, target shooting, and also field shooting, culminating in the installation of an Atlas monopod. This is a Ruger 10/22 rifle. It's just a little 22 I've had for probably 35 years. Since this is YouTube, let's go ahead and make sure we're clear. Action is open, there is no magazine. I can see the chamber, and I also like to put my finger in there and feel an empty chamber. This is a cold weapon. This is my Ruger 10/22 that I've set up in a target configuration. As you can see, I put, like many do, a Harris ultralight bipod up front. Provides me with a nice, solid front support. It's also got the adjustable cant or the swivel feature, but it's got some resistance. It's a nice, solid front support, but I've found in sighting this in, particularly 50 and 100 yards, shooting for groups, that although I've got a nice rock solid point up front, that the rear is actually the weak link. Once you get socked into the rifle, you get it nice and tight in your shoulder, and every breath, every movement of the elbow, you get a little, brass or gravel under there, and you really see the movement. Although this is solid, it's actually just a pivot point. A couple of easy ways to minimize that. First of all, this has a rubber butt pad. It's sticky, so it tends to stick to your clothes, but as you get hot and move it around, you really notice it. So initially what I did was what I learned a long time ago: make a V out of your thumb and fingers, grab the bottom of the butt, grab your upper arm. It's much more solid, but still it's heavily reliant on you. When you move, the point of impact is going to move up and down. Mostly you're going to get up and down. You're not going to get any side to side with the bipod. So first thing I tried, took an old pair of Levi's, went to Home Depot, got some playground sand, made a small sandbag. Since the stock is tapered, you can move it forward or back, you can squeeze it, you can do various things. It's pretty solid. It's actually very acceptable, but it's not exactly cool looking. So other guys will make a fist under here that's still susceptible to moving and things. So what I went ahead and got was an Atlas monopod. That is a bipod is two up front, monopod is one in the rear. It attaches to this rear sling swivel. In this video, I'm going to install it. I'm going to show you how it works, some of its basic features, and then I'm going to take this to the range and we'll see how I like it. Okay, here's the packaging that the monopod comes in. It's just a simple Ziploc, heavy duty. Monopod is in there. There's a hex key or an Allen key and some basic instructions. So let's go over what we get. This part attaches via the rear sling swivel. This is the actual part that touches the bench. There's a button here, or a detent, so for course movement or course adjustment, you push that button in and out. For fine adjustment, you can spin it. So let's go ahead and install this on the rifle. First thing you do is move the monopod to the lowest position. You roll this collar down, then you can expose the mechanism that grabs the sling swivel. So to install it, we've got our coupler open. There's a button here. Let's see if you can see that. There's a button here that you push, thread it through the sling swivel or the stud, push the button again and rotate it so that it captures the pin, and it's attached. And this portion that touches the stock rotates up. You sock up the collet, and it's now tight. Now you can also see, or I hope you can see, that right here is an Allen screw or a set screw. You can tighten that if you're going to dedicate this to a rifle and not move it back and forth. It's really easy to move it back and forth. Now to retract it again, there's this button. That's fully retracted, fully extended, and you can infinitely make minor adjustments. To fold it, extend the bipod or the monopod, rotate the collar down, and then you rotate the whole thing up like that. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this set screw. It's probably not that riveting, so I'm going to stop the tape, and I'll show you what it looks like fully installed. Okay, so now that we've got it attached to the platform, to the rifle, I went ahead and tightened this set screw because when you go to fold it and unfold it, it's a little bit loose if you don't tighten that. Some of the longer models have two of these collars, one for the bottom and one that stays up against this. But for my purposes, this is what I needed. So here's the bipod. So here's the monopod fully retracted. This is the shortest model that they make. Here's the monopod fully retracted and fully extended. That's actually given me a slight muzzle down. So between my minimum and my maximum is level. So this should do for any bench or shooting purposes. This should be exactly what I need. One thing I've seen others do is a little bit quicker deployment than dialing it in, is you take the collar all the way down, you leave this part so that it can swivel, you make a fist around it. It's actually much more stable than just your fist under there. You can rotate it, rotate your knuckles. Now again, if you're on a concrete bench and you're shooting something more significant than a .22 rifle, you're probably going to get some knuckle drag across the concrete, but that's the way it works. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I'll be back with more information later.